there, Julia here. It is the end of the year somehow already, but it's the perfect time to reflect again on my fountain pen and ink pairings from the entire year. I did this exercise last year and really enjoyed reliving my favorite pairs. So I wanted to make this maybe an annual thing, at least while it's fun, we'll do it. Plus, with everything going on at the end of the year, it's really busy. The last thing I want to be annoyed with is a pen and ink pairing. So I know that all of these pairings are great because I've used them before. They're my favorites. So another plus of doing this. So what we'll do, we'll go through my ink journal end of month recaps, see what I love the most, and re-ink so that I'm able to eventually choose an ultimate favorite for the year. So how these inked and review sections work, I'll just show you my October, November one. At the end of the month, I will do a table like this and have all the pen and ink pairings listed out. I will give the pen a rating 1 out of 5. 0.5s are in play. And then I'll give the ink a rating and then add them up to get the pair rating. And then from there, whichever one has the highest number will be my favorite. There are some months where there are ties, and so I just went with whatever made sense. Very convenient that that was only one page back. So January's favorite was a tie between the Just Turnings Overpour 2 with Journalized Dark Matter and the Parker Duofold in the Black Pearl with Diamine Tobacco Sunburst. However, I recently just sold my Just Turnings Overpour and I actually rated that my favorite. I was trying to cull collections, and from an aesthetic standpoint, I just felt like it was similar to some other pens in my collection. So January's favorite is the Parker Duofold International in the Black and Pearl colorway, and it is inked with Diamine Tobacco Sunburst. This is a beautiful pen. I think, if I remember correctly, this one is from the 90s, and I got it from my good friend and pen dealer Joel Hamilton. And yeah, and then the ink sample I got from my good friend Marcia. And I think this ink was from a guitar series, I think. So all of the colors in this little set, I don't know if it was a set or just a series that kind of came out back to back. It was kind of before my time. But I think they all were just inspired by some of the finishes that you see on guitars. And this does have a beautiful medium nib. Already seeing some of that gorgeous variation in the ink color there. My favorite for February was this Papa J Studio first anniversary fountain pen, and I have this one inked with Wearingle Path. So I actually won this pen in a Papa J Studio giveaway. This pen is inspired by the first pen that he turned, but just in a new updated fountain pen form factor. And it was commemorating his first year of turning pens. So one of a kind as far as I know, and I feel very lucky that I have this and that I won it, and it's very fitting because I think Luke with Papa J Studio is one, a good human, and two, very special in this household because he turned my wedding bouquet pin. So here we are, Wearingle Path. beautiful olive. With a green goldish shimmer. And this does have a fine Bach nib installed in it. For March, my favorite was not a surprise to me because I inked this combination up just a few months after March as well. So this will be the third time this year that I'm re-inking this pen and ink pairing. It's so good. I think I even left it going for a few months after. It's just good. It may just end up being a permanent thing. But for March, my favorite was the Pilot 743 Verdigris with the medium nib, and it's inked with what I think is the perfect match, Pilot Hiroshizuku Shinroku. And when I say perfect match, I mean both color-wise and functionally. Like the flow is really great. Never disappoints. It's so good. Oop, I forgot to put March. I'll just put it here. I love it so much. Okay, my favorite from April, I feel is like the little cousin of this pen and ink pairing because look at them. They're like from, you know, different mom and dad, but cousins. Anyway, wow, this is the Sailor 1911 Large, the Call of the Cthulhu colorway with a medium nib. And the ink is the matching ink. Both were Gold Spot exclusives. The ink is Wearing Gold, Call of the Cthulhu. Such a deep teal. And this one has some major sheening properties as well. Love the sparkle on the section here and the finial. Just enough feedback. Nice and wet, rider, beautiful. All right, for May, if you happen to have been around, we did a 30 inks 30-day challenge where I picked different pen prompts out of one bucket and then picked ink prompts out of another bucket and then had to come up with, I think, 5 or 6 pairings based on that, and then I would use that for a week and then pick again the next week. So for May, I did rank everything as well. I think 2 pairings that had the highest score. I just chose between those 2. So my favorite for May, which is saying a lot because there were a lot of pen and ink pairings then, was the White Bear Pens Ursa model. I'm calling the colorway Mermaid, but I'm not sure what it's supposed to be called. This has a medium nib and it's inked with Diamine Mint Twist. Now I will say that the nib I have on here is not the exact nib that I used in May. It is the same size, a medium nib, but I put this purple coated nib from Heinz Pens on here, and I think that it just sets it off. It just takes it to another level. It's so good. Diamine Mint Twist from the Inkvent calendar. Oh no, I'm losing my memory of which one. I think it was the 2024 calendar. Yeah, for some reason, I can keep the years pretty good to memory. It's an odd flex. And if you're wondering, I'm not fully inking these up just because there are so many, you know, there's 11 pens here, January through November, so there's no need to give it a full inking because there's no way. So comfortable, and it's just like the perfect length there. It could post, but it looks a little, it's a little weird posted. I think it's better not posted. It's gorgeous. It's giving mermaid. It's giving perfect match with the section. Yeah, it's got the purple and the teals and the cotton candy color. Yeah, it's just a really great pen and a really great ink match. For June, my favorite was the Pelikan M800, the red stripe. This one it's an old style stripe, so you can see in between the stripes here. This one has an extra fine nib and it's inked up with Monteverde Napa Burgundy, which was a sample I got from Alexandra in Chicago. I would say that this is a very sophisticated feeling favorite, especially, you know, compared to the fun and whimsy pairing of this. This is like on the other end of the spectrum here, which is fun to kind of dabble in all of the aesthetics. Like, I like a classy pen, but I also like a fun pen. I really have been liking Monteverde inks. I only have the sample, maybe a couple of samples, and one bottle, California Teal, which I love, but they seem really well behaved, nice and wet, which I like. And I really have no complaints. Let's stack some notebooks so I don't go completely off the rails here. Yeah, and as you can see, even in an extra fine, we are quite thick. We look more like, well, we look in line with these fine and mediums especially. But that's just how Pelican Gold nibs roll. They just are juicy. And with this addition, now we're starting to look a little holiday, which is totally unintentional. Moving along to July, my favorite from July was this Nahvalur Nautilus, the Atlas exclusive called Cotton Candy with a fine nib. It's a beautiful resin on this, and I love this model of Nahvalur. I've been mostly falling out of love with the Nahvalurs, but my two exceptions are this pen and then the same model, but just the all black. So I think they really would have to do something about their nibs for me to get another one, basically. But I have this inked up with Robert Oster Tranquility, which I thought was just a perfect match for this cotton candy blue light teal turquoise that you see in this pen's resin. I am very distracted because as I am doing this, I have my laptop right beside me and I just released the membership announcement and I can't really see much happening, at least on Instagram and stuff, because I'm doing this right now and my phone is being used for this camera right here. But I can see people joining the membership and it's making me a little emotional and distracted. So thank you. So I opened this and there was ink all over the section here, which probably just means that there's ink in the cap. So I just need to most likely rinse out the cap, make sure this is screwed on well. Yeah, it could have went a little more. So I had another friend that had that issue recently and it's just like tighten this and you know, that kind of seals up what's happening in the pen with the ink coming out to the nib. So sometimes it's just that simple, just tightening it a little bit. So if you ever have like ink, I think that happened to Cam too. Yeah. So yeah, if you have ink in your cap, try that. Oh, it just writes so good. I think that is the key with my dislike for the Nahvalur uncoated nibs is like the ink needs to be wet, very wet. This has a fine nib, if I didn't say that already. Robert Oster Tranquility. Okay, my favorite for August was the Estebrook and Ferris Wheel Press collaboration Estie. The Estie is called Nebulous Plume. It has a journaler nib by Gina Celerino installed, and the ink is an Atlas exclusive. This is Colorverse Wolf Point. It's shimmer ink. It has some lovely sky blue shimmer in there. And I really just love the resin on this pen. I almost said, if you're just tuning in, no, this is not a favorites teal video. That's what it looks like right now though. Oh my God. I like what I like though. And really, I love how I can go red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, any color would, even brown, there's some like brown tones back here. Any color would match this so well. And I'm just another one of those people that really love the journaler nib. If you're new to fountain pens, the journaler nib is kind of like a stub nib where you get thicker downstrokes and thinner cross strokes, but where typical stubs are a little more squared and a little more dependent on you keeping this same writing position as you're writing. The journaler is a little more forgiving and it just adds a little bit of a flair to your handwriting. It's super comfortable to write with. I love it. Obviously, it's in the best stuff. All right, so the next two kind of skirt 2 months. So for September through November, I did a mid-month rotation just because of the way that travel worked and just my personal schedule in general. So the favorite for mid-September to mid-October was the Leonardo Momento Zero in Rosewood Ebonite with a medium nib, and it has Ferris Wheel Press Velvet Ballet in here. And this is a super fun special pen. It has a story. I won't go into it because I've already told it in this currently inked video, but this was a repair challenge for me from Joel Hamilton, and I was able to fix this pen, get a new nib from Kirk Spear, even though let's see if I have it in arm's reach. I don't think I do, no, but the original nib was a little bit bent. I was able to get it straight again and writing, but I just wanted a fresh new nib. So yeah, Velvet Ballet. This is from one of my first ink swaps that I did with Danielle, who has or had at the time all of the Ferris Wheel Press inks. So that was really fun getting to try some inks that I couldn't get my hands on. But yeah, an Ebonite Leonardo Momento Zero. This has a medium nib. Just a really great match. Not exact as far as color goes, but in writing you can't really, it just looks velvety and, you know, in this red family, so it works out pretty well. And with the like lavender silver shimmer, it kind of just comes off silver and kind of plays into this dark hardware here. It works. I really like it. And then for, I should have put September, October here. It's fine. So for the October, November favorite, so mid-October to mid-November, this may shock you, maybe not, but I think this rotation stayed inked the longest of any of these because of the Japan trip, and coming back, I just kept the rotation going until nowish. And so yeah, I had a lot of time with these pens, and I just had to be super real with myself. My Pilot Kakuno was my favorite of the bunch. It was the one that I just kept reaching for. I knew it was gonna behave. I love the ink that's in here, and so yeah, this was my favorite of the bunch. I have it inked with Suki Gakoro by Sailor. Such a fun ink. It will look more blue, I think, on this paper, but on other papers it looks more olive green. On other papers it looks more brown. It's definitely a chameleon of an ink, and I love the flow. It's just really great. I know some of you said that this is your favorite ink of all time, which I totally get. And this does have a fine nib. Okay, even though these are our best of currently inked, I wanted to share some new, well, not really new, but some re-inks and some changes that I've made with some other pens that are inked behind the scenes, not in like this rotation, but sometimes I have to re-ink them or change out the pens or whatever. So the first permanently re-inked fountain pen is this one from Say. This is the Courage, or the Jellyfish. I want to say colorway, but it's not. Design. I got this at the 2025 San Francisco Pen Show. It has Annabelle's beautiful harmonic nib on it, and there's just no way I can just unink this and not use it. I re-inked it with the same ink that was in it before, and I don't know if I've ever said what was in it or not, but this is Kobe Sumiyoshi Brown, number 40. So we'll just do this over here. Ooh, you know what would have been fun? If we used the ink mascara. We will for the other ones. Such a gorgeous brown. This is Cosmo Airlight, just in case you're curious. This is Yamamoto bank paper. Oh, it's just, ooh, so good. So good. Okay, the next re-ink, it ran out before the Japan trip, and I was going to re-ink it then I was like, oh, well, I'm not gonna be here for 3 weeks, so what's the point? I'll re-ink it when I get back. And yeah, so this is the wedding pin from Papa J Studio. It has pieces of my wedding bouquet in the resin, which is super fun and special and beautiful and all of that. And I had been inking this with Sailor Komakusa, I do believe, for the longest. And I also tried another like mauve ink in here, but this time around I ended up changing it out to one of the newer inks that I got in Japan. This is by Nautilus, made by Tono and Limbs, and this is called Peacock. Yeah, it just would feel weird doing this best of currently inked without talking about these pens that are longer term and usually inked. Oh, I said I was going to use the ink mascara. Okay, I will on the last one. So this does have an Imperial grind on it by Kirk Spear. I usually, well, I don't change out the nib because the nib has our wedding logo engraved on it, and so it's kind of permanently married to this pen. Yeah, I think this is a great match for the teal pieces in the pen. And then I always like to have a flex pen inked, just if I'm doing some kind of fancy lettering, if I'm writing on a card, on an envelope, something like that, or if I just want to have some fun writing with a flex nib. I always like to have one inked. And for most of the year, it's been the Pilot 912 with the FA nib. But this month I decided to switch it out to the Magna Carta MST in the black opal colorway. Beautiful, beautiful colorway. And I decided to ink this up with another ink that I got from Japan. This is Sailor Niigata Ayame. Ink mascara, ink mascara, ink mascara. We'll do a little spoon action too, why not? So as you can see, a gorgeous purple with some shading properties. This has a fine flex, and as you can see, I'm writing with the reverse side for our chill lettering. Beautiful. You can see we get, with a flex nib, get all of that fun shading stuff happening in the lettering as well. This will probably take a little longer to dry down, but yeah, so these are the three that I had to re-ink, and they're still going. So here we are, our best of currently inked. Let me know which one is your favorite here and what pairing really got you excited this year with your rotations, with what you've had inked. I always enjoy hearing your insight. Subscribe so you can come back and see what the ultimate favorite ends up being. I also have memberships now where we'll chat a bit more candidly about the pairings throughout the year. But for right now, I'll leave you with more currently inked videos right here. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I will catch you all in the next one.